Welcome back to more Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Last time we began Olimar's assignment, so this time we're starting out with Day 3, River. There's treasure to be had on land and water, and I want it all. Oh, and don't bother waiting around for lily pads. The water's not flowing. Find another way. The President.
Be Armstar, Captain Olimar, Window, Gero, Nurun, Dolphin. Be Libri, Potekede, Toskus, Toppa, Caparastin, Shirokero. Kapavci, Skus, Shakanahi, Benepu, Tatatun, Fastfa, Shirokero. NPTX, Window, Skus, Libri. Caparastin, Gupa. Tatatun, Testex, Window, Be. Asiko Hotate, NPTS Libri, Jun Chachon, Spara. Spanahi, Toskus, Tosanahi, Potekede, Lui.
I hear a river nearby. Hopefully there'll be some blue Pikmin there. We have 10 minutes to gather up everything in this section of the Twilight River. We have yellow Pikmin and red Pikmin, but no blue Pikmin, so we'll have to find some in a bit. First of all, let's deal with the enemies. We want the yellow Pikmin to carry back the dwarf Bulborbs because there's an electric wall over there. In the meantime, I also want to chuck Louie into the water and have him go to the opposite shore to see what else he can find. There's a lot of fruit and enemies in the water, so hopefully we'll be able to find some blue Pikmin shortly. We have some yellow Pikmin here along with some red Pikmin over there, so let's pluck them, and right past this area we should have some blue Pikmin, so we are good to go. We also have a Toady Bloister in the water, and in this area, past the blue Pikmin, we should have some more bearded Amprats. We definitely need more yellow Pikmin to deal with that though, so in the meantime, we're going to have these yellow Pikmin work on this side of the wall, and then we'll swap over to Olimar, and also work on the wall from the other side as well. So let's round up the yellow Pikmin over here, and get to work on that. While they're working on the wall, I'll also swap over to Louie and have him deal with a bunch of the threats and fruit in the water. I feel like you don't need that many blue Pikmin, given that's mostly the puckering Blinos, and in cases like this, where they're kind of spread out, you really don't need that many Pikmin at one time. So I'm not entirely sure how many blue Pikmin will end up grazing today. There are quite a few of the Blinos in the water, and I definitely want to take out all of them so they can safely transport everything back to the ship. There's a lot of fruit in the water, and also we have some more blue Pikmin over here in the water with blue Pikmin. Over here, where the bridge pieces were, we also have another fruit, and actually, it would be a lot faster to just get these blue Pikmin here than going across the shore, I feel. I will have to keep that in mind for the future. These missions are very replayable though, given that you're scored based on your time remaining. It's actually really fun to go through the missions and try to find the most optimal routing for some of these sections. We'll have the red Pikmin work on the Dawn Pustules for now, and we'll have the yellow Pikmin deal with the bearded Amprats. Again, a lot of the enemies are scaled to their normal mode health, so hopefully, even though there are two of them, this fight shouldn't be too bad. I was kind of waiting for them to get farther apart just to be on the safe side. Luckily this one charged at us, meaning we can easily fight this one without having to worry about the other Amprat intervening. Again, yellow Pikmin aren't as strong. That electricity is incredible. The yellow Pikmin aren't as strong as the red Pikmin, so in cases where you have to fight, sometimes you might want to have more yellow Pikmin compared to the amount of red Pikmin that you need to actually defeat an enemy. But again, with electricity, while it's not lethal, it can definitely still get in the way, so I still would recommend fighting enemies like Amprats using yellow Pikmin if possible. Let's swap over to Louie, round up all of our blue Pikmin, and head back to the water. There's still quite a few puckering Blinos left, so again, we'll take some time to clear those out before trying to carry everything back. This should be enough blue Pikmin to deal with everything, hopefully. This might be a little bit scary, these two in a cluster right here. Overall, that went very smoothly, actually. So we'll gather up this fruit here. That one luckily only takes one Pikmin to carry, which is very nice. Again, a lot of fruits are actually very small, which is nice given that you don't need to actually use that many Pikmin to actually carry things back, giving you a lot more Pikmin to work with for other tasks. Over here, we also have the Toady Bloister. I'm not entirely sure if fighting one with 19 Pikmin is the smartest choice, but again, given that this is closer to normal difficulty, we actually did take out almost half of its health with one charge, even with this few Pikmin. And we have this little line here, so we'll carry that back. And that should be almost everything, actually, unless I'm forgetting something. That should take care of most of the fruit in this area. Overall, I actually think this mission is a little bit easier. I feel like the enemies are actually a lot weaker and less scary than the ones in the previous mission, oddly enough. So overall, that went very smoothly, again, unless I'm forgetting a fruit somewhere, which I actually think I might be. So I'm going to double check over here. There is a fruit across the water, and I'm just going to look. Yep, I forgot it, so we definitely want to get this with the blue Pikmin. Luckily, we have plenty of blue Pikmin, so we'll be able to carry this back relatively quickly. Again, times like this, I wish all of the Pikmin would latch on if you have more than the minimum number, instead of having to charge them onto it multiple times to get as many Pikmin as possible to carry something back. So once it's out of the water, we'll also try to have the red Pikmin carry it to speed up this process a little bit faster. They're not charging at all for some reason, which is very interesting. But either way, that was a fairly straightforward day 3, and that went pretty well. Words cannot describe how I'm feeling, Your Highness. Please accept this platinum medal and a song written by yours truly. With Louie's help, we've collected a pretty good treasure haul so far. I just wish he'd stop eating every fruit he sees. We have to work hard on finding some truly valuable treasures. The sooner we hit our quota, the sooner I can get back to my wife and kids in Hokotade. Next up is Day 4, Tundra. This place is too big to find all the treasure alone, so split up. That's an order, and watch your steps so Pikmin don't fall into any gaps. Those assets are too valuable to lose. The President.
PRS var kapten Olimar. Window grå Dolphin. Beriberi. Både klikkene då skulle stoppa kabaratun slokero. Kpapji. Skus shakarahi. Belbun sa. Benebedes. Window skus riberi. Jun chajo. Belbun sasasun des widon. Asoko hotade. Bepa shpa shoppa. Kabaratun. Japanahi ospa hasugerum. Liberi, dos valeni los gus. Dos chaganahi, pode crer que deu window antileco.
This time we have 12 minutes to collect everything. Once again, we have red Pikmin and yellow Pikmin, and I see some blue Pikmin over there as well. We want to defeat some of the enemies here and raise up our yellow Pikmin numbers for a few different reasons. First of all, there is an amp rat, there's also an electric wall over here, and we definitely don't have enough yellow Pikmin to deal with any of this efficiently. We also have a little tunnel to dig out here, so we'll have the red Pikmin work on that for now as we try to raise up our yellow Pikmin numbers. I'm actually not feeling super confident about fighting the amp rat with this few yellow Pikmin, so we'll have to see how this goes. I might try to play it safe and call the Pikmin back mid-fight. I really do hate the cold. So yeah, I am trying to play it a little bit safe, given that we really don't have enough yellow Pikmin to work with here. That should be enough to finish it off, and we'll have the yellow Pikmin carry this back as well, along with this fruit up here. Let's gather up the red Pikmin again. We have a Joust Mite. I think I want to wait until we have all of our Pikmin assembled before worrying about that though. We also have the blue Pikmin, we'll whistle them over. We definitely want to deal with the Joust Mite though, so it doesn't get in the way of anyone. At some point, we'll also have to worry about this wall, but for now I do want to clear out the enemies first. With our limited numbers here, it is a good idea, I'd say, to deal with the enemies first, given that when you start dividing up the Pikmin to deal with different tasks, you might not have enough to actually deal with enemies otherwise. We also have some more desiccated skitter leaves up there. Unfortunately, two of them are pretty close together, so we'll have to see how that goes. I'm going to leave Louie by this wall. As a reminder, based on the video file, Olimar and Louie don't have the anti-electrifier anymore, because this actually takes place after he left it for Charlie. So, I actually do like the video files for giving a little bit more insight into some of the lore, even though it definitely feels like some of them are a little bit redundant, given that, again, you were only supposed to see one per playthrough, essentially, because of the video files for your profile, or for the data files for a profile giving you one number code, essentially. So you're not really intended to see all of them, so they do end up feeling a little bit redundant at times, but all of them do contain different information, so at the very least that's nice. So like the previous day, having Olimar mentioning how data files are disappearing. I actually think that's a really cool touch, and helps to kind of establish some more of like what's happened. For example, so his data files are actively falling out, essentially, and that's why the Koppai crew is able to pick them up. We also have another water temple over here, so once again, I'll try to sneak up from behind. 12 Pikmin isn't a lot, so I'll hope for the best here, that we get a good charge there. We did, so we're good to go. So let's toss them up here, and carry back the golden strawberry on that ledge. We also have another Toady Boister along with some more gold. I think I'll wait until the blue Pikmin reassemble first, so in the meantime, we'll gather up the yellow Pikmin. Watch out! We'll gather up these yellow Pikmin and try to deal with some more of the threats in this area. We have some gold over there in this very ominous arena. I'm debating how to approach the skitter leaves. I might try to manually throw them, to be honest. That might be safer than trying to rely on the lock-on. Yep, that was much safer. So we'll have a couple of yellow Pikmin carry this back, I suppose. And there should be one more amp rat up on this ledge, guarding another fruit. In the cutscene, Louie was being attacked by 2 amp rats, and over here there's actually only 1. So again, not everything lines up to the actual mission cutscenes, but again, I almost feel like trying to adapt the mission, or a cutscene from several years prior into a mission in this version using existing assets might have been a little bit tricky, and also have everything balanced properly too. Like having to fight multiple amp rats with this few Pikmin in close quarters might actually be a little bit scary. The Pikmin are having a little bit of trouble latching onto that for some reason, so we'll let them carry that back. In the meantime, we have some more gold, and we should have another fruit on this ledge. We actually don't need to go all the way around. We can definitely simply toss the Pikmin from here. We also have the red Pikmin there. We actually don't need them for anything else, given that there isn't much fire, and there isn't much to fight other than things in the water, and one other thing that is actually going to be very interesting. So we'll toss the blue Pikmin over for Olimar, and then we'll be on standby with Louie. Again, this isn't a lot of blue Pikmin, but this should be enough to hopefully defeat the Toady Bloister without too much trouble. Again, having the enemies with less health in this particular difficulty isn't necessarily a bad thing, but again, I almost wish you could have the choice of difficulty for this. That one didn't actually have a fruit, which actually works out because there is this other fruit in the water, so we'll have those Pikmin gather up the gold, and then with Louie, we'll swap over, and I actually want to leave some yellow Pikmin behind. I don't want a full squad for reasons that you'll see momentarily, but we want to go over here. We want to dismiss the Pikmin and walk in here because, we have a Baldy Longlegs. I'm going to do my best to fight this without losing Pikmin, but this is obviously a lot tougher without Rock Pikmin, given that you do have to worry about crushing. So you have to be on guard, make sure to call them probably sooner than you would need to, just to be on the safe side. Again, specifically, if you're trying to have a deathless run, you have to play this a lot safer. Obviously, you can get through these missions a lot faster, potentially, but again, you might lose a lot of Pikmin in the process. So once it starts shaking, you're free to start throwing Pikmin again, like so. One more cycle or two should be enough, and then we'll be able to gather up all of our Pikmin and bring all the spoils back. So yeah, one more cycle should be enough to finish this off, and we'll be good to go. And this should be the last enemy we'll have to worry about, so we'll swap over to Olimar, gather up some of our Pikmin, and carry everything back. Getting medals is actually relatively straightforward. Like, we haven't even gotten all the fruit, and we're already past the silver. So in theory, if you're only concerned about like a lower tier medal, you could potentially skip a lot of the fights. But if you want the platinum, obviously you do have to get everything. I'm trying to remember with the badge system how that works, because I know for mission mode proper, some of them don't require platinums. I don't remember if that's also the case for the side stories as well. But we'll have all of our Pikmin work on carrying the final spoils back, again, assuming I haven't forgotten anything, and we will have to just basically wait until they carry everything back. Luckily, the Pikmin with the gold can actually use the geyser to get past, so it's a little bit faster for them. Again, we'll try to charge some more Pikmin on here. I think what happened last time was because it was carried through water, the red Pikmin weren't latching onto it because blue Pikmin were carrying it, or some kind of quirk like that, because it had been through water or something. That's the only thing I can think of why the other Pikmin weren't helping to carry that back. So all the gold should be back by now. There is actually one more fruit I forgot about, unfortunately. Again, yellow Pikmin actually dig slightly faster, so if you do need to dig something up, you might want to use the yellow Pikmin instead. Again, all Pikmin can dig things up, but it's just a little bit faster this way. And for real, this should be the final fruit. So once they carry this back, which will take a while since they have to go all the way around, we will be at the end of our 4th day, and this will take care of this mission. Overall, that went very smoothly. I'm actually really happy with how well the Longlegs fight in particular went. Words cannot describe how I'm feeling, Your Highness. Please accept this platinum medal and a song written by yours truly. We've retrieved enough shiny fruits and other treasures that we're just about ready to head back to Hokotare. There's one reading of a huge golden object that's too big to ignore, so we'll snap that up and then be on our way. Hold on, family, I'll be back before you know it.
Beospa, Captain Olimar, window, gero, nurun, dolphin. Berry, berry, bodegregede, doskus, toppa, kapalas, jun, shirokero. Kpapchi, Shaganahi Benepun, Sasasun, Paspara Kupe, Benepedes, Windowskus, Riverim Bagara. Kaparastun Louis, Sasasun Test, Window Pen Copa. Hasoko, Penny Hasso Gellum Louis. Kaparastun Wing, Doctor Joy.
That was the last anyone heard from Captain Olimar. Whatever became of Olimar and Louis, perhaps a crew of intrepid Copites will find the answer during their adventure. Olimar's assignment. The end. With that, we've reached the end of Olimar's assignment, but our journey is far from over because we have a second set of side stories to go through. Before we move on, I do want to mention one more detail about the video files. Years ago, someone discovered that if you modify the URL of the site connected to Miiverse, you can actually access an unused 6th video file depicting Louis with the Quackled Myroclops. I'll make sure to link their video in the description below because they detail how they found this in the first place, and also how to access this yourself. I had to reformat their URL a few times to get it to play, but I can verify that at the time of this recording, this method still works, so I'll also include the file at the end of this video. But with that being said, next time we'll start Olimar's comeback, so thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Dolphin, when you are to me, Hamamu, this is goo, you are Doro, you are more go. Be the song name, the song be the song of my name,